Taula 14, Taula 14. Taula... Com es diu?
Taula 14 en català. La taula 14.
طاولة رقم 14.
طاولة 14.
En kurdo.
طاولة 14.
Masa 14.
All together. With Muhammad Ali and AllArtNow, Abir Boukhari and Xavier de Luca. With this presentation, we start coming back to the Beyond, the exhibition that we have today in Barcelona. And after a presentation, we will have a little or big or whatever talk.
Gràcies, Violeta. Gràcies a totes per venir. Gràcies especialment a Muhammad, a l'Abir i a la Nursin, que ens acompanyen aquests dies a través de la residència que estan fent aquí a Barcelona des del 1 de juliol i que durarà fins al 5 d'agost. I és gràcies a aquesta estada que hem pogut compartir i gaudir de l'exposició en la que ha estat treballant el Muhammad durant més d'un any i mig, que porta per títol Beyond, més enllà del més enllà. Com totes sabeu, la taula és un espai radiofònic obert on tothom pot participar i que normalment acull totes les llengües possibles, no? I avui és un dia on tenim una riquesa de llengües important, així que jo volia donar aquesta benvinguda en català, però ara, per facilitar la comunicació i per poder arribar a una profunditat de continguts, ens passarem una mica a l'anglès. Això no vol dir que si algú vol participar amb la seva llengua nativa o amb una altra, que se senti a gust, doncs ho pot fer perfectament i nosaltres farem aquest pont, no? Que al final és el que ens agrada fer, ponts, com enginyers de la vida. So welcome, marhabi bikum. So I did a short intro just to share with the audience where we are and your residency here in Barcelona. I think it's such important thing for sharing also the project of Muhammad, but also your large experience with AllArtNow, no, of your project that is that close to our reality, also as it's close to our way of seeing culture and art and how we want to share it in different public spaces, no? So we feel really close to you and also that is something that is important, no, for us. So I wanted to say welcome, and maybe you can just start by the beginning, so sharing shortly your residency and the exhibition, maybe. Muhammad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Xavi. Yeah, I don't know from where I start, because it's I felt used to be here. You know, it's like a kind of same feeling of home. You know, the weather, everything. So I think this residency was so important in different levels, artistic, life, matters, things, and also this kind of collaboration and meetings happening. And of course, it was interesting also for me to, during this residency, to show my work here, so which is I found that it's like is you know, it's kind of like completing the residency in really artistic way, like to have experience and then you make show. So that's
Yeah, I think to stay a month in a place just to finalize a project that was ongoing, no? This process of work, you did it since a year and a half. You told me.
Yeah.
and
So I
that
think
that put on you some pressure to formalize it or to show it, to share it, how to define these all these elements for an exhibition. It's an important part of the process, no?
Yeah, it is. So the meeting, like when I started the project, so it was like the ideas was floating around. So, and with the residency and the show here, actually, it was that I had this feeling I have to finish this project and show it, and it's first time I'm showing this because also it's here in Spain. It's not like where I worked actually. So yeah.
That's pretty interesting, no? Because it's the first exhibition, or the first time you show these works. But I imagine that will be also interesting to be shown in Stockholm or either in other places, or
Yeah, and the Stockholm was also start point for this project, because also many stories which is like when I created was in Stockholm. So I'm looking for to show this exhibition in Stockholm to see like how the reaction will be. It's from the land of the story where it started.
yeah. I think this is the most important part of the sense of the exhibition, not the concept.
Just to continue what Mohammed was speaking about also the residency, sometimes how like it helps also your own research. Sometimes the artist, he needs this feeling that someone will kind of like push him to think about his like the time, to have a deadline that he can, like finish his project, kind of like created. So sometimes the residency can be about research, but sometimes also it's good for the artist to have this feeling that he needs to produce or need to think about like finalize his work. So I think what it was special, that this residency was kind of intense, I have to say. We did many visits, we like visited many people, we met many people in a way, but also like being for artists lives in exile, it was kind of like also important to come, not really to your own home, but also to a place neutral in between, like the place, your second home and your like first home in a way. So like Spain for me, like Barcelona in a way, also it's not Syria, of course, but it's also something like similar, has this common points between like the Mediterranean, and it's still, I mean, it's Europe also. So it was a place where you can think about your new life, but also your like first, let's say, first life. So I feel that we were lucky to be in this residency. Speaking about the concept, what Mohammed said, it started in Stockholm, but in the same time it was important for him as an artist to think more about the stories that he wants to build, to have this also relation. It's not what he keeps saying, it's not about only his own experience, but also about experience of different people. It can be me, you, how you will look to the stories, what kind of things you will find the stories, how you will understand, I mean, what do you want to pick up from the stories also?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that in the exhibition we can discover like different stories or different portraits of people, no? And I think it's interesting how you describe it in some of the visits we did, Mohammed, and what is real, what is not. So the title, it's something really important on how we can approach to these stories, no, and understand them.
Yeah, I think choosing this title beyond, which is come from the pataphysics definition. It's like what the pataphysics is, it's like to go beyond the how to go to the beyond the metaphysics, which is metaphysics is beyond the physics. So it's like you going beyond, And I can say it's not only beyond the beyond, it's beyond the beyond the beyond. So you can go far as much you can. So that was the point. It's not the one way of telling or like looking to the stories or telling the story. So there is many different ways. So it's not at one direction or like one direct way of presenting the elements of the story. So that's why beyond the beyond. So it's kind of representing the idea of or rethinking is like how we can look to the stories, you know, in different way, you know. Yeah, so that beyond thing.
Would you like to describe some of the bodies that appears on the exhibition?
Yeah, actually, in the artworks and the stories, there is portraits and the body, and the bodies and the portraits. So it's the portraits are the image of how we look to the others, and at the same time is the part of the body. So like when we look to the ears, so as a part of the body, but it's in our face, so it's the portraits too. So it's like the portraits of the ear and the body of the ear. So and I can just tell one story is not in the exhibition, so it's like to thinking it's like what these bodies could be. And one time I was in Stockholm in a big mall. I was just walking in front of this beauty store things, and a man stopped me. He was like about 40-50 years old and has long hair. And he stopped me, say, sorry, can you help me? I need money to buy a cream for my hair. So it's like not the money for like to have food is not, and he was like explaining it's very urgent, it's something really important to need this money for his hair. So it's like bringing, you know, what the body is, the ideas. So it was like, let me think, you know, what is body, what's important of the body, what's how these small parts it's become important as you stay alive, you know. So that's kind of way I try to present the bodies in this story. You know, it's not like only that physical body which we know, because like always the people like trying to making the portrait clear or like changing the portrait of things, like changing the face. And it's like what we see in the media or the news all is about portraits and about that image, but no one talk about what's happening inside the body of these portraits, like the person who own these portraits. So I'm trying to present in this, yeah,
to go beyond
exactly
and to see what is not visible to the eyes, no?
Yeah.
I think it's a metaphoric way you choose in every single series that you shows in a very, very nice way, no? It's really interesting how metaphoric. Yeah. This is a concept we need to explore in depth. I mean, I discovered it just during these days, but I think we need to go further, no?
Yeah. Well, yeah, metaphor is as a metaphysics is go one beyond. So and the metaphor is go two beyond. So that's metaphor.
So I think it could be interesting maybe to open a discussion if someone has any questions or...
There's a song that you choose for the Taula, Muhammad, which is Pataphysical, from Pataphysical, which is a group, Dream Reveal. I will put it, and then you will think about how can you ask, and that has to be very intelligent. A very smart question. Pataphoric. Please, if you don't have a pataphoric question, don't do it. No. No, everybody is welcome to make questions, also to use their mother language if they want, and then translate it. That will be nice for the listeners after. Okay? Bueno, okay. Tenemos dos preguntas en el público. We have two questions in the public. We start with Juliana.
Okay, so I was just curious of how you came in contact with pataphysics.
Yeah, it was by coincidence. It was just like it was I was like reading some things about like the art, and especially contemporary art, how the things come up, and then Duchamp and all these things, and then I found like there is something called pataphysics, and then I started like to read about it, and then I discovered, oh, that's what I need, what's I'm looking for to describing things. And I started a big project. Actually, it was creating a character. So in same way, like the Alfred Jarry make King Ubu things, but it was like in now, in present, and in my personal way to how to describe things. So my character called Ayu, so it was all the exhibition about how to creating this personality of this person, which is he's not functional, his body all is covered and he's empty from inside. He has like 2 ears coming out from his, and in this exhibition also it was like searching for his personality. So it was Ayu in the exhibition, not me there. I was not there, so it was kind of I found a way. It's like, no, it's Ayu telling things, it's not me. So yeah, so I continued this idea about like what the pataphysics, and I was, and also found it and it's become kind of a window to looking through pataphysics to history, to science, to news, to everything. So, you know, it's not like one direct way to read things. If we talk pataphysical, it's going in different way, you know, and it's, I found it super interesting, you know. It's there is a lot of situation which you can't describe things. You don't have a language, you don't have ability to describe things in a way that people can understand it. So the pataphysics, it was like that, has this imaginary solution, which is
there is another question in the public. Mohammed, I was thinking about memory as a part of the body, and when I watched some of your works related with the histories, I thought about the memory of a body, not only a body but a dreamer or a human being in exile. When I was seeing the dream piece, was like a scene, like the memory of like I was thinking about my own migratory dreaming, like the migration, like coming in a body, like a portrait. At the same time, how do you think if or with these windows called pataphysic, if memory makes part of the body?
Actually, when we look to the title of this work you mentioned, this an installation video, keep it light but deep. So that's the sounds what this person heard in his dream. Keep it light and deep, but keep it deep. So it's like, how can I keep it light and how can I and deep? You know. So it's like if I'm not able to touch things, to know what's happening exactly and it's around me, and it's like how I can do it. So that was a dream of this person, you know. And but when we look to through this works whole, like the stories and things, we can find of kind of deformation of the body. So this deformation, it's what happened after, like, you've been out. It's maybe we call it exile, but if I took a look at it through pataphysical way, so I call it, no, we are out of our place, or like out of my country. So it's like from this point when someone's be out of, so maybe you are here in Spain, but could be sometimes out of everything, you know, this feeling. So this kind of, if we call it out or exile, so how it changed our body, how it changed the skin, our skin, how the pains, how the what's happening. Do we recognize ourselves anymore? It's like, what's is it mirror telling reality or reflecting the reality of who we are, or not? So this kind of deformation, which it was interesting for me to present it.
No, yes, in your drawings, I saw something very like in the drawings, visceral, like cerebral, the forms, and things very like black squares, like something violent. You know what I mean? Well, it's my feeling, and also in your installations, I'm thinking, what is telling me about, I don't know, this black. I am asking you, what is telling me this black thing moving? Yeah, and in your animation drawings, we have all these forms that are like faces with visceral things.
Yeah, so we're talking about two works. One is the after masks, that the drawings, and breathing in harmony. So one is it's about the destroying the masks. So that's why we see this kind. Well, I'm experimenting in this exhibition. It's like the power of the drawings in general, like in different mediums, in different materials, and how to work with the drawings. And even I try to find a mechanical way or like digital way how to make these drawings, how to move it, and also the meanings, the powers in these drawings. Like in after masks, I was looking, it's like how to describe, if we talk about destroying mask in the drawing. So it don't need, for me it was like not to make a hammer, how to destroy it. And this mask which is combined with the noses, mouths, eyes, ears, and so this black, it was heavy with this small lines is coming. So that was the feeling I tried to present in this. And the other one is breathing in harmony. Also the story of try to presenting through this kind of drawings, even if mechanical or motor. So I try to presenting the how the drawings can describe this feeling of these people who stuck in this company. They can't go out of this company easily, or they have only small limited places and the freedom in this place. And so it was like trying with the materials, the heavy of the materials, and you can showing different kind of texture, and there is a one part is moving all time, it's not stopping, to presenting the story.
Regarding this piece, the breathing in harmony, I think you found the nice way on presenting, by one hand with a mechanical installation that shows this movement that makes us think about the breathing, the action of breathing, the physical action of breathing, and with the drawings at the same time. And regarding the story that you explain us through the history of the factory, all these limitations on mobility, I think it was interesting what Abir shared the other day on the opening, that these limitations on mobility are restrictions that affect us in many layers, in different ways. And today we are also sharing some personal stories that has to do with these limitations. And I think I don't know if you remember, Abir, about what you shared that day with regarding the installation itself with the sponge.
I think this work also, breathing in harmony, it's kind of like so special for me when Muhammad was working about, because in a way, I mean, like when you look to the details of our life, all of us, in some way you feel that you have the freedom in specific place, but in the same time, it's like you don't have it all time. And sometimes when you cross this limit, suddenly you feel you are isolated or out of the society, or you are not accepted anymore. So also with this work that Anna, she was speaking about, this feeling that, like you keep moving and moving in the same kind of like space, and that it's not possible for you to leave this thread sometimes. So you are attached to something, and you keep, like trying and trying without really being out of the place. This limitation, it's not, I have to say that, it's not only for specific people. Like each one of us has some kind of like feeling that, how many times we have the feeling that we want, to do something, and it was not possible because of economic reason, political reason, social reason, cultural reason. I mean, when people now, when they are asking me, I mean, I like Sweden. I feel that Sweden is my second home. But in the same times now, like being also in Barcelona, it's kind of speaking also about memories. It kind of brings all these memories about your own like home. And suddenly you feel that it's just, 3 hours by airplane, but then it's so difficult for you to, to go to a place that you have all your childhood or your places or your memories there. But also, Violeta, if I can add something about memories, each one of us is kind of unique when it comes to memories, but we are sharing these experiences sometimes. So, I mean, it's true that we lived the experience of the war, but now the whole world have this experience with Corona.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course, we're under a exceptional situation, no? But I think it's amazing how you are able to escape from war and to bring on your baggage all these experiences you started with AllArtNow in Damascus, and you are able to arrive to Stockholm to open up again this baggage, to make it active again, no, and to keep up these bridges with a lot of projects as you are doing as curator, but as an artist with Nisrin also, that is not here today. But for me, it's amazing the capacity you have to recover, no, of a really bad situation and to share, and it has to do with energies, but also with this willing of sharing, no, and advance together with others.
yeah, I mean, like we as cultural expert, always speaking about the power of culture, but also, like, I mean, if I can say that, having this, like experience with the war and what happened, and now Corona, you feel that like art still have this power if we can really, like, believe on it. It's kind of, like having this contact with each other, being, able to touch some sensitive and difficult issues sometimes, to speak about it, to open this discussion. I mean, sometimes, like one time I was working in one of the projects, and then it was about, showing Damascus before the war. And then someone in Sweden, he asked me, he was from the audience, he asked me, but, like you are showing something completely different. It's about Damascus, how much it was beautiful in a time that the war kind of like destroying the country. And then it was discussion, like that sometimes if you can, just approach one person and being able to talk to each other, so then you are really, like happy with that. It's possible to at least to speak to each other. So I think like with AllArtNow also, like it was a way for me also to be in contact with different artists, to be able to speak to them. Like today I have one of the artists also, like in the radio, Diana Jabi, that she lives here in Barcelona. So I mean, it's so special. Yeah, we started in 2005, but then you feel like through art you can speak about like different issues, about your life, about the life of the others, how, like being completely different, but also trying every time to be successful in your life. And now, like, we are working together, actually, so...
Yeah, and keep up. I think this is the most important part, though, that today we are here also sharing the space with artists that contribute to the virtual residency that you created on the months of Corona in the beginning of this year. Ana Lopez Luna and Munir Guri that are here today with us. And I think these are new creative strategies, no, to keep up the work and the research, no, that artists need these spaces where to feel comfortable and with people that understand the processes.
Also,
no?
what is special when it comes to art, that you always try to find, solution in a way. I mean, when we started this virtual residence, so it was kind of like meeting with artists, but then the artist also produce something, speaks in a way about themselves, but also about the people. So sometimes I feel that we are so lucky in a way to be working on art also.
Munir, Tu veux partager quelque chose? Tu veux partager l'expérience avec la résidence virtuelle ou expliquer un peu ce que vous avez combiné ensemble?
Si, si. Ouais. Je parle en français, oui. Voilà, en fait, la résidence a été... au début, c'était très légère parce que dans les premières Zooms, c'était un peu spontané. On parle un peu par rapport à la situation sanitaire et chacun comment elle a vécu. Et déjà avant la résidence, avec Anna, on était tout le temps sur un processus, genre qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pendant cette période. Et du coup, les premiers temps avant la résidence, on a fait des dessins chacun de sa part. Et comme la résidence a eu lieu, c'était vraiment le moment où on peut vraiment concrétiser un travail. Et comme voilà, donc le cœur de ce sujet, c'était le confinement. Et puis la coïncidence de la petite fille. Et voilà, donc déjà il y avait ce vécu de confinement et avec la petite fille. Et vraiment, c'était comme un moment vraiment dans le vide, en même temps très plein. Et on a pensé, voilà, on a commencé à chercher plus ou moins qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire en introduisant voilà, Maya. Et du coup, oui, c'est un peu comme ça. Et voilà, donc pendant toute cette période, on parle juste virtuellement avec nos parents, avec nos grands-parents et tout ça. Et voilà, du coup, j'ai pensé un petit peu sur comment on peut faire une œuvre autour de ça. Et c'était l'installation avec des masques et les écrans. Et pour faire le parallèle, les masques, c'est comme le symbole, disons, de confinement, parce que tout le monde il porte le masque et tout. Et c'était comme un jeu par rapport à le mobile de Maya, parce que le mobile de Maya, c'était des jouets à elle, des trucs qui bougent et tout ça. Et dans le parallèle à nous, c'était aussi les écrans, comme on parle avec nos parents. Et le masque aussi, c'était comme c'est comme un jeu aussi. Voilà, c'est comme une simulation entre les deux mondes différents. Et qu'est-ce que ça peut donner comme un visuel ou une image ou un message. Bon, c'est pas un message, mais c'est comme une impression et une sensation un peu générale de la situation et comment on a vécu tout ça. Et voilà, c'est un peu ça. Voilà, je sais pas si tu veux.
C'était pas la première fois. En fait, on avait fait une performance déjà ensemble et à la Biennale de Jaffre qui s'appelait Désir sans visa et qui était aussi pour parler de la question des limites qu'on trouve territoriales par rapport à la situation nord-sud. Et du coup, pour cette résidence, ce qui était drôle aussi, c'est qu'on était confinés à la maison et en plus on venait d'avoir un enfant et du coup et en plus on habite dans un studio, donc on était en huis clos, on habite dans le même espace, on travaille, on produit pour la résidence et du coup cette situation aussi qui s'est élargie aussi parce que à cause de la crise sanitaire, Mounir a eu des problèmes pour refaire ses papiers parce que les administrations, je pense que eux ils ont eu aussi le même problème. Et voilà, on a vécu une situation comme ça et du coup on a fait ce parallèle avec le mobile de Maya et cette situation en attente qui se lie à toutes les situations, mais chacun son expérience et c'est pas les mêmes réalités pour tout le monde. Voilà. Je sais pas.
Pues c'est la fin. Adiós.
C'est la fin. Así, un corte abrupto.
On peut continuer billon.
Sí. Más allá del más allá.
Billon, les concerts, billon,
Le couvre-feu, ¿no?
les centres cívics, billon, dis centre cívic Ateneu for Pienc, billon dis terminal de bus, agradecimientos.
Yes, of course. Muchas gracias a todos por venir, a todas. Y sobre todo gracias a Abir, a Mohamed y a todos los que han colaborado también para hacer posible la residencia y todas las diferentes ventanas que se han abierto durante este mes de julio.
So thank you very much for inviting us for this Taula 14. Gracias, shukran, taksumike.
Y nos veremos pronto. Merci.
Gracias,
Shukran.
Xavier de Luca. Gracias, Abir Boukhari. Gracias, Muhammad Ali. Gracias a todos los que estáis acá y habéis visto la exposición. Nos volveremos a ver en la Taula número
15.
طاولة رقم 14.
Numéro 15.
Numărul 15.
Cans.
La 15 será el 18 de septiembre en Gízer.